Are you feeling grounded, tired, heavy, solid, like you're back in maybe 3D world? Well, don't worry. Everyone else is feeling it too. This is just the latest incarnation of our experience to the latest energy waves. Everyone's talking about this on the internet, and they're explaining how it feels to them in many different ways. And I wish I'd do these videos sooner, because it just sounds like I'm copying everybody else, but I'm not. And I'm just going to share with you how I'm experiencing the latest change in energy frequencies. And this started about a week ago, 7-8 days ago. So last week you may have felt like heavy, tired, maybe digestion issues. That was the beginning. So what's happening? There are two things going on, in my opinion. Number one, yes, energies, it's like a new wave of energy is coming in, but we have energy coming in all the time. But as these waves of energy have been coming in, what's happening, as you know, we're raising in frequency, but we're also expanding our energetic field, our awareness levels, and we're rising up, and we're also becoming more aware of our higher self, or our causal body, our light body. And also, as our energetic awareness expands and elevates, we are also beginning to feel, and I think this is what the energy waves are doing, we are beginning to feel now the effects of astrological alignments. We are becoming more perceptive of that. So it depends on the astrological influences or alignments that are happening during these energetic waves that influences how we receive the energy. So this feeling of being grounded, okay, has everything to do with Mars moving into Taurus. Now, it moved it 8 days ago. It moved into Taurus, and it was in Aries. So what does that mean? Mars represents our ego, our kind of outer desires, our doingness, our ego personality, doing, achieving goals, all that sort of stuff. And in Aries, it was highly heightened. Aries, the warrior, get things done. And I'm not an astrology person, so I may be using wrong terms, but in general. And now all of a sudden, Mars, or ego body, hits Taurus. And Taurus, as you know, is a fixed earth sign. And everybody just kind of went out of the Aries, this thinking, creative, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And all of a sudden, we just grounded completely. And many people, myself included, have felt empty. And all of it, they're thinking, holy shit, I've lost my connection to spirit. They're feeling as if they're not here. Okay. What else? It's this very kind of like, I don't know where I'm at energy. Well, that's because we have grounded all of this. We're like grounded now. Taurus has grounded us, and it will continue to keep us grounded. But that feeling of, I've lost my connection to spirit or something, that's not the case. That's just the energy. So people are kind of freaking out about that. I'm reading on some of the YouTube channels. That's not the case. And this feeling of emptiness, don't perceive that as a bad thing. That's a good thing. You are more in alignment with your spiritual self. You're more grounded in the body, which when you're more grounded in the body, when the ego is grounded, then of course you're going to feel empty because you're not so much in the mental body. Aries, mental, thinking, trying to figure things out, okay? You're grounded into Taurus. So you feel empty, but it's not. The emptiness is really your true self. So don't freak out. You haven't lost your connection to spirit. In fact, you're even more connected to spirit because you're grounded in the body, you're centered in the body. And probably what you're feeling, Sun is in Pisces now, which means you're feeling a lot more grounded in your intuition. Your intuitive nature is really coming online, and you may not be trusting it because you're not feeling all the airy-fairy stuff from up here, but you really feel it. You're probably feeling your intuition in your body. So with this Mars being in Taurus, I suspect you're coming to some decisions about what fits into your life, because Taurus is about values and pleasures and, you know, what makes you feel good, and grounding spirit into the body and producing projects. So feel into what belongs into your life and what doesn't, okay? And really make some decisions and move forward. That your intuition will be very high for a while. So really go with it. Let's see, on a personal note, well, also what this we are energetically now opening up to our causal body, or our light body, also known as the Merkaba, which is kind of has to do with how, let's see, I think I've lost my train of thought. Which you may be feeling your focalized consciousness deeper in your body. Let me just talk about my personal experience, because I've kind of lost what I was going to say. So back in December, when I crashed into unity consciousness, and please, I don't say that from an ego standpoint, my focalized awareness like snapped out of my head. So when you look to find your sense of self, most people, because we're so mind-centered and we have this in the brain, we feel our sense of self like in our brain. And even after realization, you feel your sense of self inside the brain, but differently. And then, and speaking personally, when I kind of shifted or whatever happened in that moment of unity consciousness, when I came out of it, my sense of self ended up, I talked about it being like right here in front of my face. And I it was right here in front of my face. And it was so annoying. It was very hard to, it was like I was no longer in the body. It was out here. And what I recognized that's the higher self, causal body, light body, Merkaba integrating, coming down. So you may be feeling this too. So check, if you're not used to checking where your sense of self is located, see where it's located now, because it may have shifted. If you're not used to sensing this, you may not sense it right away. But what I've noticed since as of last week, God, it's been crazy. I really sense the causal body. Not the full causal body, by the way. Let me tell you, it just feels like I have the framework, like little sticks. I have the frame of the house. But let me tell you, I'm not stable in any one level of consciousness. Let me just tell you that right now. But I have the framework, and I can literally feel the causal body coming down. So before it was here, but as of this shift, Mars in Taurus, or this new energy wave, unbelievable. It has moved all the way down to here. And I no longer have to kind of force my attention into the heart area to get into the body. It's there. Now, this may change if when Mars goes, I don't know if this is strictly due to the influence of the astrological alignment, or this is something has shifted in myself. You know, we'll see next month. But it really feels like the causal body framework has landed, and now my focalized consciousness is here. And it's quite amazing. So you may be feeling that too. Feel if you can, see if you can feel where your sense of self has been grounded. It's grounding higher self, maybe grounding more into your body. And I will tell you, for those of you out there watching that are familiar with the Gene Keys, Richard Rudd talks an awful lot about that we're moving back into a race where our focalized attention is not in the heart, as everyone talks about, we got to be in the heart, but it's going to go back down into our solar plexus. And for just a few seconds the other day, I felt my energy here, but I got an intuitive feeling what it would feel like. I could feel the solar plexus opening up and feeling my center of consciousness down there. It was incredible, because when you're focalized here, and that's another thing, during the whole shift of this, my mental body and mind has been like crazy quiet, like empty. I hope you're feeling this too. Anyway, that it's such a peaceful feeling. And that idea of being centered, heart and solar plexus, I think it would really work in a team. It was an unbelievable feeling. I could just feel how once we're really grounded in that state, where the causal body is landed there, or light body, or we've expanded into that ability to feel, our bodies it's all layers in a oval shape. So they're here already. So as we expand our energy out, we'll be able to feel that causal body or light body more in our solar plexus. It's amazing. I sense what it would feel like walking around, being absolutely quiet of the mind, and being have all of my senses and knowing and intuition connected from solar plexus and heart into my outer reality. It was incredible. Anyway, so don't worry if you're feeling extremely tired, or you're feeling lost or empty, like you've lost your sense of self, or suddenly you feel like, oh, what am I? I'm just a plain old human being again, like you can't sense your spiritual self. Don't worry. You haven't lost anything. Everybody's feeling it. They're feeling kind of woozy, some digestive issues. You can look this all up on YouTube. But if you're feeling like, oh, I feel so empty or lost, go into that space, because that's the real you. You just don't recognize it because you're so used to the mind keeping your attention that you're not used to this emptiness, that silence. But that's the real you. So do not worry. Tune into your feelings this month, particularly today, next couple of days, your intuition, what fits in your life, what doesn't, and make some decisions. And if you find some things that don't work in your life, tell the universe no, and then tell the universe yes, what you would like. And I think you're going to see great things. Okay, until next time.